Hey, so I wanted to go through AAVJ 2025. I'm on version 2502 as we're talking. It's on Anti-Alias's GitHub, and what it is it's essentially a TouchDesigner VJ interface that's built to be similar enough to Resolume to where it's kind of intuitive. Um, you've got slots here for um, it initializes, and then you've got your blocks here where you can drop in scenes or clips. Then you've got faders for layers. If you go to file or edit and project settings, um, you can see that you can change how many slots there are. You can also double right click a layer and insert a layer above or below. There are a few things that you can do with double right click. You can create a new blank network for which you can make a scene inside of your AAVJ, and then you can right click and save that talks or customize it, which would allow you to add parameters. And then you can click the box and then Control N to open up the network. But you'll see if you zoom out, then you can't go into the rest of the project, and that is because it's proprietary. It's um, also available. The full version is available through Anti-Alias's Patreon. I'll link both the Patreon and the GitHub. The demo is functionable, but to unlock full features, go and sub if there's availability. There's limited availability, and yeah, go check it out. But I'm going to do a quick walkthrough of how to get started with this, and then at the end, I'm going to share kind of like a TouchOSC interface that I built with it, or for it rather. But yeah, so basically, what you can do is say you have a project. Go to projects, and say I want to use this project. I'll open the project. It's a .toe file. When you usually will save a project. If you have it as a tox file, you can go ahead and just drop it in if it has an out top. But I'll show you what that means here. So basically, we have like a regular project, interactive, mouse, fluid, and then you have the null, which is the end of the network. First, you'll want to make sure your resolution is the same as your project resolution. So here I have the render. I'm going to change it to 1080. And then I'll add at the end of the network an out top. Then I'll zoom out. Or actually, what I'll do is I'll highlight everything. Right click outside of nodes. Like, so if you right click inside the node, the option won't show up. If you right click outside, you'll get the collapse selected, which will collapse it into a base. And then you can right click, save component talks, interactive fluid, and then we can bring up a VJ, find our interactive fluid talks, drag it into a blank box. It'll take a second if it's a heavier project. Usually I'll take the mouse over to here, and if it blinks red and if it's responsive, then it won't freeze when you click. So then click here. We have our interactive fluid. It's not optimized at all, so it's going to be running like dog water. I'll have to do some optimization if I want to use this in real time. But then what you can do is update thumbnail. and then whatever is in the display at the time will populate the thumbnail ideally. But what you can also do is Control N to go into the network. Make sure just the last node is highlighted, not all of them. And then add a fit top, fit vertical, and this is the thumbnail, and then I'll lock it. And then change the name to thumb. And now it updates the thumbnail. Usually it's pretty good about like updating the thumbnail via the right-click control, but pretty much everything is, it's still under development. It's early access, and it's all, hand-coded in TouchDesigner. So expect, there's you can report errors in the Discord, which I'll also link. And Jack is constantly, working on this to update it as of late 2025. Then what we can do is we can route in MIDI. So we would configure MIDI using this button here. And then you see the MIDI mapper, typical to TouchDesigner, comes up. You'd select your device, which I don't have any plugged in, and then your MIDI map, which I won't cover in this video, but basically if your device isn't here, then you'll want to create a new mapping so that your knobs show up. And then you can add a plus, MIDI in, and your device will show up here. And for example, with this touch input, I typically will add sound reactivity. And so how I do that is I use there are different components that you can use for it. You can make your own component, of course. One good one is the ARE by AAVJ. But I'll use this one, which I will add a link of. I'm really going to upload it to Dropbox now. It's already on there, great. So I'll include this that if I understand right, Jack and Anti-Alias and Breck Truffalo made this like a few years ago. But what you can do is you can add in your audio device in. We'll do microphone, so it's reading my voice, albeit at pretty low frame rate because my project isn't optimized. And then you can go in here and add an out here. Add an out here. Out chop. And then scroll out and you'll have the low, mids, and highs coming out here. And so you can use any like OSC data, chop data, and then plug it in to a null. We can delete this and then name this touch in one. And then make sure it's plugged into the out. Now, if we close this, this will show up. Whatever we plug into the parameters there will show up here. And then with MIDI or touch in data or whatever chops we route in, we can go here and it'll show up here, and then we can modulate our parameters. So basically, like if we add parameters here by customizing talks, double right click and then customize talks, or if it's saved with that later or like separately, save with if the parameters are saved separately, then say we have swing, and it's not mapped to anything, but it'll show up here, and then we can drag it here as chop reference, and our chop data will affect the parameter, which if you wanted to then map it to a parameter in the scene, you need to Control N, make this box a little bit smaller. And then say we want like camera position to be changed. We can drag this into here. Or would it actually be copy parameter and then paste? No, it wouldn't be. Reference. Yeah, great. So now, yeah, I would do it as reference. And now I want to show you the TouchOSC controller and how you can route that in. So you need to download TouchOSC. Please consider buying a license. It's a great program, definitely worth it. Open recent. This is on my Patreon for free. You can just download it, and then once you have the file, you can open it up, find the file wherever you downloaded it, and then you can hit play and control it on whatever surface, secondary monitor or iPad, and route it in via connections, MIDI. You have to make sure the send and receive port are good there. But yeah, you can edit it however you want to make it fit your like designs. But basically, like I have these on for layers, these for scene controls up to 10, and I have them mapped to each individual scene. These are toggles, buttons. These are for my effects for the dry wet, and then these are for parameters within the effects. But yeah, so basically, like we hit play here, and then how we would route it in here is by under project settings, and add an input for OSC. And if it's on the same computer, you'll pretty much see the. Let's see here. Let's see what we got here. So MIDI, send port. Let's do OSC. So we're on send port 9000, receive port 8000. So it'll be the send port. And then this is the host. We'll browse. Let's see what hosts there are. Just a little bit of trial and error here. see if this works now. So here you can see what port you're on in TouchDesigner. In the OSCN node, it shows this parameter. And then we can go into here, change it here, and now fader will change. And then you can go over here to OSCN and have that be applied to whatever effect or parameter or whatever you want. So that's how the TouchOSC controller works. And then locally, and then I close TouchOSC. I close it. But yeah, essentially you just want the address to line up. You can send it if your iPad or OSC controller is on the same network as your computer or as TouchDesigner. But yeah, and then you always want to, at the end, save your project. I have a few here. Then it saves as a talks, and then when you open it later, you can open your project this way. Yeah, that's pretty much a rough, really rough introduction to AAVJ 2025, and I hope you enjoy.